Yeah, let's just send over the contract with the pricing breakdowns in there. Make sure there's some reference to that cost. And then if you want to schedule the onboarding call, we can do it right now.
Before I can, dive into the exact conversation, show you what we do, how we do it, and that will give you exact clarity about us. Can you tell me what exactly made you say, you know what, this might be something that I should be, taking time off to explore further when Nikhil called you?
I mean, I uh I go by the Russian motto, if you shoot at everything that moves, eventually you'll kill something.
Okay. I saw your LinkedIn as well. I think you know Russian, French, and Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, enough to have conversations around a fire or a barbecue, but not enough to like speak intelligently in a professional mortgage related setting. That makes sense.
Okay, I understand. I understand. No,
Kind
I
of like
understand.
chit chatty, conversation stuff, not
Oh,
technical words.
in all three languages, like the Russian, French as well, or anything that you are fluent in as well?
No, I mean, Russian, I'm the weakest in. French, I was an exchange student in France for, 6 months. And Spanish because Arizona and French and Spanish, Italian too. It's that same
Mhm.
kind of romance sing language. So they're very, very close. Anyway,
So, can you tell me, I will just ask a few questions about your current situation right now, where you are, where you want to go, and if we can align ourselves to, make sure that we bridge that gap. And then I'll share some, the overview about what we have done with this client so that you can have understanding about how we are going to do it for you. And then I'm going to go into the pricing structure. If that makes sense, then we can move forward. Does it make sense? Sound
yep.
good? Cool. So yeah, tell me, what exactly is the situation right now? What's the structure looking like? How many states are you, licensed in right now?
42.
42. You must have been for in this for a long time now.
Uh, Decade.
A decade? Okay. So, how do you get the applications majorly right now? Is it mostly referrals or, you have tried advertisements as well on the side?
Mostly referrals. So, I mean, I'm also a licensed realtor. I'm listing a condo. I'll do open houses, right, on my listings, and that'll bring people in. I've done some internet advertising in the past. The more hyper specific we do on the advertising, kind of the better it becomes. But I have found internet advertising to be, I mean, it's either people that throw a far big net that just bring in randoms, or it tends to be, the two categories that I have experienced are total randoms because we're just casting the net, and anyone that even came close to raising a hand, right? Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, do a loan, do a loan. And they're like, nah, I didn't even mean to raise my hand. It was an accident. Or they're
Mm-hmm.
totally not ready. The second set of people or groups of people would be more of the savvier shopping people. And really all they're doing is trying to get a number and something from me so that they can go out and try to beat that by, the smallest of margins. No real loyalty, no real commitment. Um, just really ultimately wasting my time and my money because it cost $72 to pull a credit report. So,
Mm-hmm.
you bring in 10 people, all of a sudden I've dropped $720 for people to be like, thanks for letting me know I can get a loan. Thank you so much. Okay, that's your number. Okay, perfect. And they don't understand that rates change, things change on different properties. Like all that stuff is a fluid, and they're just using that as better, 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 better. Here's somebody that'll do it for
Mm-hmm.
$500. That's my guy. That
Okay.
those tend to be the two classifications that that I seem to have been getting when I did internet type of advertising.
Have you, that's interesting because, yeah, that makes sense because that might be a possibility as well. For a lot of people, I've heard that they have been burnt in the past. Do you know anyone in your network or someone who have successfully used internet marketing like Facebook ads or YouTube ads, something like that? No,
Yeah,
anyone?
I mean, successfully from the wisdom on the street, the core business really comes from that referral base. I mean, everybody and not everybody, a large majority in the successful loan officer space,
Mm-hmm.
they put all their focus on creating the relationships with referral partners. You know,
Mm-hmm.
do they do internet campaigning to bring in leads? Yes, but they make it a small percentage of their business. How successful? I don't know of anyone personally that they're crushing by doing internet lead, bringing in that client and closing that client. And again, remembering loan officering, loan business, it's a long sales cycle,
Yeah.
90, 120 days on average. So,
Mm-hmm.
you're a lot of times you're putting people in pipeline. And again, over that period of time, you might be having people lose interest because they're just getting fatigued on shopping. They're renting, their lease is coming due, they're getting nervous. Oh, I signed another year lease, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it even takes a whole year for that to come around and get them back out. So
Interesting.
I mean, that's the industry. It's what we deal with. When I'm talking to other loan officers or in groups, it's always the pressure of work your existing database, get your client piece, or I mean, your referral partners in place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they
That's the
say
primary
social media. Well, yeah, they say social media tends to be about 5% of people's business, even though they spend 70% of their time trying to do social media to bring that business in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the wisdom on the street is saying, hey, put your energies where you're really going to bring in those customers, and that is your past database, your existing clientele, and referral partners. Um,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but
So,
I mean, there are, the what is that? They're doing that. I don't want. It's not broad range ads. It's carousel ads on Facebook. That right now all of a sudden popped up as kind of a hot little thing. Like, oh, take your listings and do a carousel ad, and this will create leads, and then you'll get a customer out of it. And it's like, okay, that,
yeah. I mean, things
that's
pop
fine.
up from time to time. Sometimes
Yeah.
this is working, sometimes that is working. But so this is what, I've just spoke with another person, like, from Tennessee about like an hour ago. And he was saying that, referrals is like going well. He's been in for 30 years. And he's like, referrals sometimes gives me like 5 loans a month, sometimes two, or sometimes zero. Is it like the same thing with you as well? Is it consistent always, or how's the situation?
No, I mean it's never consistent. You want
That's-
consistency, go get a job at McDonald's and punch a clock.
I'm talking about
So,
consistency with the number of inflow of people coming in, the type of
again,
people you.
it's yeah, I mean, consistency, it's the same thing that your referral source gets waves of people at times. When they have them, they send them. When they don't, they don't. I mean, again, this business is not a consistent business. If consistency was what you were looking for, then you need another profession.
Hmm.
You can,
Okay.
you can build up enough flow that kind of gives you a consistency, but you're not going to say this one person consistent consistently always gives me 3 leads a month and those turn into one deal a month, because again, it's random people they're talking to. They could be qualified, not
Hmm.
qualified. Life events. I had one realtor that used to send me consistently for years, 2, 3 people a month consistently. And she had some family issues and then that went away. So what's consistency? You know?
Okay, I understand. So, we- let's talk about the ideal scenario for you, right? Right now, let's say a best month for you, right? What's the target for you? How many loans you are doing right now in a best month? How does it look like? and what exactly, your goal ideally is. Can you help me
Yeah,
with
I mean,
that?
so I'm doing crap for business right now. I mean, the market's tough. There's just a lot
Yeah.
of people nervous about the election. It's just, the volatility of the market. Now people have to pay for the realtor, right? These buyers have to pay the realtor. So this is a
Mm-hmm.
big concern for people. We're seeing a lot of back off on that. I'm only doing right now on average 2 loans a month.
2 months. Okay.
Yeah. So I was doing, between 10 and 12 loans a month. But
How
again,
long
that
ago was
was,
that?
well, I mean, that was during the heyday of good interest rates. So, I it's been almost 2 years now that I've been making survival money. Prior to that, it was probably a good stretch of maybe 5, 6 years that I was running.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, my first 2 years, I was kind of figuring it all out, right? A loan a month, 2 loans a month, and then all of a sudden it jumped up into like 4, 6 a month. And then it was kind of 10, 12 a month. I was breaking on having systems. So part of my journey has been changing some companies, one to help build my business and get better resources, but ultimately I ended up finding a place that helped me with my systems. Those systems have allowed me now to, work at a much more advanced pace. I'm able to handle a better workflow. And as soon as I got that system all compiled, the market changed, and now that opportunities are not there anymore. So my systems are fantastic. Everybody gets great, not every time, almost every transaction. I'm getting 3 5-star reviews from it. It's part of my system. I'm getting the buyer, my client. I'm getting the realtor that represents that client, and I'm getting the
Mm-hmm.
listing agent. All three of them are reviewing me, give me 5 stars. Now, not always. This last one, it was just one realtor that gave me the review. The client said they would, but they haven't yet. I'm working it. Um, so I'm able to work
When
at a
you,
high level, and it's
when you
systemized. People
say
just don't have the
system,
opportunity.
interesting. I mean, when you say systems, is it like, do you have a team as well, or is it all just you? Like someone helping you with something on the side as well?
I have ability to have a team. I don't have a team right now because there's just no reason. I
Mm-hmm. There's
mean, why
not
would
enough
I'm
inflow.
doing 2 loans. I can do them in my sleep. So why would I chop all that up, pay a team? They'd be a little hungry, like, oh, you're not, it's just not enough. And so then I'm sharing them, and
Makes
then
sense.
the system starts to break down, right? Because it's not a flow. I'm able to do everything myself. I'm closing loans in 10, 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to
Okay.
put someone in there, you know what I mean, and then mess all that up and take a month to close?
What can you define, like, can you give me some, an overview of the process from someone who comes, shows interest from a referral source, let's say, uh, and then until you close the loan? What's the process looking like there? So that I can align myself to that, okay, I can get you from here, then you can take the remaining part.
Yeah, I mean, it's stages, right? So
Yeah.
lead comes in. The first thing is to establish a relationship of some sort, understand their needs, take an application, qualify them for loan options, explain the differences between those. If they're not represented with a realtor, get them connected to representation, have them shop, find a
Mm-hmm.
couple properties they're interested in, run some comparable numbers so they have an idea of what that looks like,
Okay.
get under
And then,
contract, and then the loan process begins.
so that's when, you get them pre-approved for the loan at that stage, or
No, no, no. You get pre-approved
that's
back when you do
applications.
the yeah, application is part of the pre-approval process.
Okay. So that's
And
when
that,
they get approved. All right.
yeah, so when I said loan options, that's they're pre-approved. Here are their options of loans, right? You have 6 doors you can choose. Which ones do you want?
Okay. Makes sense. So can you define like this application, right? Let's say it takes you 11 days to close, right? Let's take a worst case scenario because this is not gonna be referral sources, right? This is a new source of uh, lead flow coming in. Let's say 30 days closing cycle, worst case scenario for you. So can you define the ideal type of home buyer that you want, like in terms of credit score, the situation, what the income level, the type of homes they're looking for, situation from them, so that I can tell you go into the steps that we use.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
mean,
ideal, absolute ideal that you want to talk to?
who doesn't want an extremely qualified person with a lot of money in the bank that's easy to lend to? And that, you know what I mean? That's a
I
loaded
mean,
question.
I'm asking, I'm
I
trying to
want
understand.
800 FICO score. I want them to have 400,000 in the bank. I want them to make 250 a year. I want their debt to income ratio at 10%, and I want them to not shop.
Okay. I was trying to understand, like, if there a a level that you are like, okay, I can take until here. Of
Yeah,
course,
I
the
mean,
best is.
I want people that are serious about wanting to be a homeowner. Right? They're tired of renting. That they're exhausted of having to move every couple of years. They're ready for roots. They're ready to build personal wealth. Homeownership in America is how people build personal wealth. Um, and we're quickly going to become a nation of renters. So I want someone to kind of understand that, you know, it may be painful at first to go through this process, but the rewards far outweigh it. They want to be with someone that's going to help, pull back the curtain and not slam them into something, not just force them into things, maybe explain a few things, let them have some options. Those types of clients that are very hungry to own are the ones I want to work with.
Okay, cool,
I
makes
I
sense.
let I'm nationally certified for VA loans. I'm a very strong veteran loan closer. Um, I'm very strong with self-employed people. I have a lot of creative loan process that's outside of the box of most loan officers, and I've been doing them for years. So P&L loans, bank statement loans, non-QM loans, you know, asset depletions, all these.
Hmm.
I I specialize. I've really specialized myself in understanding how to sniff out a loan that matches with a client's existing situation.
Okay.
And what a,
Okay.
and what I mean by that is, loans are a lot like a cake, and there are many flavors out there, right? But eggs and flour are pretty much in every cake. If you don't have the ingredients, you can't make that cake. So I'm good at understanding the client has these ingredients, then they can only make these cakes. And now here
Hmm.
are your chances to really do it. Do they
Okay.
like those options? They may not like those options, but I can make a cake for them. So,
Okay. Like that's what suits their needs and that's best for them. You can suggest them that, right?
well, I
That's
mean, yeah, I mean, so a huge part of my business is what we would call turn downs. I say huge, I'd say a good 30% of my business. It's people who have been told no time and time again, not because of a FICO score being 500. Nobody wants, I don't want to deal with that. I, I'm working with someone right now with a 550 FICO score, and I am able to get them approved. But I sure as
Mhm.
heck don't want to deal with them. They're tough. They're tough borrowers to deal with. But I do. I'm happy to help them.
Okay.
Right.
Appreciate you sharing this information. It really gives me some clarity about how can I align my conversation moving forward at the what I'm going to share with you to give you the entire clarity about this. Tell me if you can see my screen. Okay.
Yeah, I see it. Counters. My booking central. Looks like a white
You see
label
it?
for go high level.
Yes. This is Go High Level white labeled. You see it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure why I'm not able to.
So these are
Okay.
standardized questions, right?
Yes. So first of all, what we do is like we run Facebook ads, right? So
Yep.
Facebook ads is the first step of the process. And in that Facebook ads, we specialize in targeting the type of, of course, the basic stuff. It's not like, anything super exciting there. It's just, type of home buyers, what radius you prefer, you share it with us on the onboarding if we have that. And then we target the type of people that you want to work with, the areas, the income levels, basic stuff. From there, we have like whatever you said, right? In the internet marketing world, there's like leads. It's a waste of time. So when someone says, yeah, I was just scrolling internet and then I saw an ad and they're like, yeah, who doesn't want to have a home? I click on the ad and then, share that information with you. That's a lead. It's a waste of time, but it is still an information of a interested prospect, which can become an interested prospect if we qualify them properly. So now from that step, 100 people comes in. Okay, let's say example, a month, 100 leads coming in. From there, what we do is we use Go High Level, as you know, the basic stuff, use automation. And before that, we send them to this landing page to ask the basic questions about their, credit score and stuff, so that you know that it's not about getting to know what exactly they are, their background is. It's more about the intention behind that. Does it make sense?
Yeah, yes, you're trying to get them to raise their hand, then you're trying to qualify them.
Yeah. When what happens is like if someone is really interested to proceed to next steps, they will take more steps. If we can add barriers to entry into, having conversation with you, the people
Yep,
who process those boundaries are really interested. So we
yep.
accept increase the intention level here. So once they
And
fill
I,
this
and I
form,
see that to be what, like 8 questions, 8 to 12 questions tends to be that kind of butter zone, right?
yeah. So the ideal is like the basic stuff is like 4 questions, because we have further steps after that as well. It's not just the end of the situation there. So
Right.
we ask like basic 4 questions, and then once they are inside this is the lead. That's when they become a lead. But as you see here, out of this is the last 10 months with this client with us, right? So 1,200 leads, as you say, not everyone is, the right people to talk to. It's time waste for most people, right? Out of
Oh,
1,247, only 238. Sorry, you were
yep.
saying something?
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, especially on Facebook, right? They have autofill, so the barrier of
Yeah, yeah,
entry is very limited. If all I got to do is
yeah,
click a button and they're in your system, I mean, you can
exactly.
gather a lot of warm bodies that way. It doesn't necessarily mean they're the right answer. Uh,
Exactly. That is the reason we don't use, the lead forms. We use the survey page so that we increase the intention level there. But even after that, you see the only 30% of them will schedule a call, right? So we schedule an appointment with you. So at that point, what happens is this is the example conversation. They get an SMS, email, and we are implementing voicemail drops as well. So that way we give them the chance to auto book on your calendar directly. Let's say your calendar will be integrated here. So what we suggest is in terms of ad spend, you take care of the Facebook ad spend. There's the pricing structure is you take care of the Facebook ad spend. We manage the ads for you, and then we'll get you as many appointments as possible of the ideal type of clients and make them show up to the appointment as well, so that you talk to more people who are exactly like the type of audience that you want to talk to, and you don't talk to time wasters, and that increases your chance of getting more applications every month. Does that make sense so far?
mhm.
It seems like, there's some hesitation in that. Can you share with me what exactly?
No hesitations. I mean, you're not. It's nothing mind blowing. It's go high level. You're
It's
doing
very
ads,
simple.
scooping as many people as you can. You're
Yeah.
drip campaigning them to get them to do a meeting. You're following up with go high level to make sure that they show up on the meeting on time. And here we are now.
That's
I'm talking to them. The meeting's been set.
okay. That's, 60% of the work. And then what we do is, let's say some people comes in, they matches the metric, they showed interest. We know the credit score and stuff, but still they did not book a meeting. So then we have our people, we just implemented that recently. Our team will call them up. We will call them up and, book an appointment with you. And even on the day of the appointment, we will show them, remind them about the appointment with SMS automation as usual. But on top of that, call them as well. So we are trying to get you as many people to show up to an appointment with you. And we disqualify the type of people that you don't want to speak with so that we save your time there. And we ideally can see that, okay, you know what, with $20 an ad spent a day, that's the Facebook ad budget we have seen with this client, that if you can spend that on Facebook ad, we can get you 25 appointments booked, 25 to 30 appointments booked every month, right? And from there, about like 60% show ups. So you really speak with about 15, 16, 17 people every month. Now, this might not be, you know, if a referral lead is like 8 out of 10, this is not, even these appointments are not 8 out of 10. It might be like 6 out of 10. So we will try to maximize the number of 6 out of 10 for you so that you can get to the number of at least like, you know, 5 applications in the first month. Does it make sense?
Yeah. I mean, you're not nothing new, but yep.
Yeah. So that's
I mean, you guys have VAs. It's nice that you have VAs following up, right? They're
yeah.
following up to catch the people that aren't necessarily responsive to drip campaigns via text or email. So I mean, you know, you're making sure that your dollars are being converted the best possible ROI there. Spending, you know, $600, $700 in Facebook ads for the month brings in, let's say, 1,000 people. You know,
100,
hey,
120, 100 to 120.
okay, so 100, I don't know, 120, but of that, you know, maybe even if we say 50%, 50% of them say, yes, I'll book. So now we're down to 60 some people, but out of that, a number of them don't follow up or fall through. Let's say another 50%. Now we're down to 30, right? After talking to 30 of them, maybe half of those. So now we're talking about 15. So, you know, I get it. It's a
That's
numbers game. It's just like anything else.
exactly. So, you know, we will try to save time for you, right? That is the priority for us. That if we are giving you 15 people, right? Those 15 has to be as close to the type of people that will help you get to the 5 applications. So we have a guarantee in the first month. We have a trial period, like, you know, test the system with us because we are very new in this industry. So we want to test this out. I want you to test this out with us. So we have a guarantee that if you test it out for 1 month, that's like, you know, you invest on the Facebook ads for yourself. And if in 30 days you don't get you don't get 5 applications, then we will stop that ad for you. We will invest more in Facebook ads from our side, from our own pocket until you get that 5 applications. Then we will able to see that, okay, you know what? This is the ROI that we can see from this campaign. And then if it makes sense for you to move forward, we can move forward after that. That's the guarantee that we want to start with. There's gonna be a setup fee of $300 to set everything up for you, first of all. And then, you know, you take out the Facebook ads budget. That's all.
And what do you guys get paid to manage it per month?
And that's about like, you know, we start with, you know, $1,000 a month, including if you're taking the calling as well, because we'll be calling them like 14 days, 30 days if someone doesn't book an appointment, you know, multiple times a day. There's going to be someone specifically dedicated to that. If you want to take that, then, you know, $1,000 a month. If you just want the Facebook ad campaigns with the drip campaigns and, you know, just connected the basic stuff, that will be like $500 a month, right? And I wanted to ask you, like, do you have someone specific to call the leads up as well? Let's say we just book the appointments for you.
Yeah, you're looking at them. Business isn't that busy where I need to have people call. And again, it's a personal relationship thing. Buying a loan is intimate. I don't want
Yeah.
17 people talking to a customer. They're going to feel like they're in a machine.
No, it's gonna be just one person assigned to one client for us, right? Let's say we onboard you, and we onboard kind of like, you know,
Understand that's
6.
one from you, but if I have someone on my team, then it's two. If I talk to
Mhm.
them, it's three. If I have a processor, it's four. If I have an assistant, it's five. Now all of a sudden they're like, holy hell, who am I talking to? Who's the person? That's all I was
Mhm.
saying. So no, I don't
That's
have anyone else. I don't have anyone else call. It's me.
okay. So I think it's gonna be, you know, beneficial for you because in terms of saving time, you don't need to have someone else doing the calls for you, the follow-up calls on the appointments as well, booking the appointments, making sure the maximum, you know, ROI is coming in from the campaign, the Facebook ad dollars that you are spending, right? So that's on us. So that's pretty much it. Like, you know, if it doesn't get you 5 applications, that's what we have seen. This this Align Lending, right? Michigan client we have, they have like a specific team of callers. So what we do for them is just book the appointments and make sure they show up. And they take care of, call the leads as many times, follow up. So we are going to do that for you in this. That's also an option. But first month is going to be a trial. So test it out, see if it works, and then, we can move forward.
Yeah, but you're not addressing. So I get it. You guys run an ad. You're good at your ads. You get some people to raise their hand. You're filtering them down. You're filtering them down. Here's your appointments. You know, an appointment, again, the barrier for a client filling out an application, it's not that, it's still a low level barrier, especially when I'm having to pay the $72 for a credit report, right? A tri-merge credit report.
Okay.
So there's really nothing for them except a bit of time. And if they're kind of serious about buying, what's a little bit of time to hear what's going on? You're taking care
Can
of
I
your
ask
end to put
you?
them in front of me, right? I'm
Mhm.
doing my part to close them and get them to write an application. It still isn't overcoming my concern of these are internet shoppers. And once I give them a yes, they turn around with the yes and start shopping again. Now for any nickel they can save.
I mean, this is an interesting point because, see, that's totally like entirely at the end of the day, the home buyers are from the area that you are operating in, right? So now if they come to you through a referral or, another, what do you say, a deviation, let's say, right? At the end of the day, there's the same people. So what I would like to understand is because this client, they said that, they are getting like 2 loans a month, 2 to 3 loans a month from this basic campaign, right? So what do you think will be, will need to be added to that, that will give you certainty that, oh, you know what, this can also be taken care of? Do you have any suggestions that we can think about it?
I don't. I mean, I don't. And again, I mean, everybody's experience is a little bit different, and some people are set up. For example, when I'm at a retail bank, they're covering all my day-to-day expenses. They're covering my CRMs. They're covering my campaigns. They're covering my credit reports. What matters to me is get as many people to do an application as possible because it doesn't matter. Spend. It doesn't cost me a penny. Just spend. I need bodies. Now I come over into my space where I have to pay for all of that. It's like, well, I don't just want people pulling applications. Again, I pulled this 550. She's not going to be ready for a number of months. I'm taking it on the chin. She told me right away she has a bad credit, you know, but she came as a referral from a
Mm-hmm.
client, and that, and she already tried shopping herself and was getting a lot of bad experiences. And then a trusted friend said, you got to go there and it's great. So doesn't mean she's not going to go shop me, but the likelihood of it drops
Is
dramatically,
less.
right?
Yeah.
So here we are with internet people. I'm sure I can get applications. You're great on the phone. Your assistant who was calling me to set the appointment was great on the phone. You know, as long as people aren't bigoted and be like, I'm not talking to an Eastern Indian dude. As long as people are level, you guys do a fantastic job communicating. I don't doubt we'll set appointments. I don't doubt I'll take it and get them to an application. It still then comes to a scenario of I'm paying you guys roughly, it sounded like, I mean, without the $300 fee, we're looking at almost 1,600, 1,700 a month to produce this 5 applications. But on top of that, I'll have roughly $100 invested. So really it's 2,100. Okay, out of those 5 applications, what truly closes? And oh, by the way, 90 days, that means I'm rolling that. Now all of a sudden I'm 6,000 in, right? Because I'm not going to do it 1 month and say, stop. Let
Mm-hmm.
me see where these guys go. 4 months later, I finally closed one. Okay, your system works. Let me call you back up and go, right? It's
I
going to
mean,
roll.
that is very interesting because see, at the end of the day, the reason I am also sharing this with you, right? The beginning I told you that I want you to say no to this. I want to give you reason to not work with us, so that if we can overcome that, then we can really build a long-term partnership. So we are really looking to take in more clients and actually help solve the problem. So it's very
Right.
important for me to understand what exactly would help you. What exactly is that thing that is missing? Because referral, nothing can beat referral, of course. But adding more to referrals is not under your control, right? We need to add control to your business along with making sure that that is as close to the referral as possible. Now, I want your help to, make sure that we can do that. But I need your suggestion on that. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
about the investment.
And I'm a little unclear on exactly, what that looks like yet. Um, again, get, my head from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and I've dealt with a number of lead generation, and I would classify this in that category, lead generation. Um,
Yeah.
it's not that I've been burned. I mean, I've had them send me stuff. It's just, it's all for it, it just never really ends up converting the way we all hoped it would. It always spins out. Oh, I finally got someone. Yes, I finally did. And then again, they're not nearly as committed. I don't know. It just that has been my experience. Internet shoppers, internet
Mhm.
shoppers. When I gather them through the internet and I give them that sense of you can actually do this, they tend to be like, perfect. Now let me see. I did great. I finally got a yes. Let me see if I can get better yeses. And
Do
if
you
I
think it's
can,
more about the personal connection with them? Because see,
maybe,
do you think that
maybe,
can
and
be
I'm starting to implement Zoom like this to talk to people about the loan options so that there is a little bit more face to face.
that's what this client does, that's working for them as well. So I think Zoom is
Yeah.
a really good option that you can implement, number one. Secondly, do you create videos and stuff on the internet, YouTube and
I mean, a little
Instagram?
bit. I'm not as good, and I'm not nearly as good as I should. I have created some, so
I mean, it's not about being good. What we can do maybe, Aaron, is in the follow-up sequence, right? You can add videos about problem solving, or maybe that will be an X factor that not many people will be, willing to do. So that will possibly add the connection level there, which can add to taking them from being a 5 to 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, or maybe like price shopping. And then in their mind, you can register yourself, make yourself registered as like the a better option because they know you, right? There's like some connection there. What do you think about
right.
that?
I'm open for anything. Um, short answer is yes. Longer answer is, that would, that we would have to put that structure together to make that happen.
I mean, if I can make sure that, like, let's say, like, every week, two videos like this, some about some specific topic. If we can implement that, I'll make sure that we implement that along with the drip campaign, and then we test it out for 1 month. If you see like this is not exactly profitable, the type of people that's coming in is not exactly, it's not an ideal use of your time, so to say, then we can have a discussion and see how to exactly help you in that. Because my goal at the end of the day is to make sure that we work for the next 12 months, right? And to make sure that happens, I need to make sure the first month is dialed in so that we can get to a system that works actually and not just some numbers.
Right.
How does that sound to you?
Yeah. I mean, sounds great. Till, what sounds better is getting a check in the bank. So,
I mean, we need to go through steps,
it's easy to spend money. It's easy to talk about things. Different to get the money in the bank.
but that's the first step to get through that, right? So we need to
Mm-hmm.
start somewhere.
True.
What do you want to do now then about this, whatever I've shared with you? What do you want to, the next step to be like?
Well, I mean, what is typically your next step?
Our next step would be I'll send you, do you need a contract about the information that I've shared with you? Here.
Sure.
Okay, so what I can do is like I can share, in writing what exactly we have discussed in this call. And I will make sure this is a priority for us to make sure the problem that you shared, the main primary problem about them not having the connection, that also is noted down. And you send us I'll send you the Stripe link for the setup fee, 297. And that will, once you share that with us, then we will have the onboarding call scheduled, which I can schedule it right now if you have a time, possibly next by Friday or something. Then on the onboarding call, we'll take access to the ads manager, and then we'll start working on the ads on our backend. That's possibly the next step.
And then you're targeting what areas for these clients to get through it. I mean, there's no coyness about it. I don't have to hide it. I'm going to hire your company. I'm going to see how it goes. You know, I'm I'm hopeful, but I'm very skeptical. If I can close 2 loans out of the deal, I'll break even on it all. So, can I get 2 people to close out of it? We'll see. I'd like
Okay.
to do a lot more than break even. Put it that way. You know, I need
What's
four
the
loans.
goal? 4 loans.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm hiring you guys, I mean, realistically, I'm hiring you guys. You know, hopefully, I get someone, we qualify them in a week, they're out shopping in a week, and they're under contract in a week, and I close them in 15 days, and there it is magically. 45-day cycle, first loan. That's you know, you guys would get a pretty good cherry on the top for that.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
Realistically, I mean, realistically, I'm looking at, you know, what every other average is, which is like 3-4 months before I close the person and get paid. Because I don't get paid for all this activity until there's a check until they actually get their keys. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so in 4 months, I'm dropping around that $8,000. Minimum would be 2 loans. That's a break even, and I would say it's a heck of a lot of pushing money around for nothing because I broke even. Um, Good would be 4 loans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Double that. And if you guys do 6 or more, if you guys brought me 6 loans that I actually closed in that 3-4 month period, I would say you guys are a fantastic company, and I would I'd be all smiles and one of your best cheerleaders.
Okay, I'll keep a note of this. One thing I would request from your side is, transparent communication with the quality and feedback. So we want to make sure that the goal that we are trying to achieve is at least 2.5x returns that you get from this, right? From this commitment. But to make sure that we need to have proper communication at all times. If you see that,
That's fine.
this is, yeah, so it will really be helpful.
And
Uh,
that said, I'm a huge texter, so you know,
okay.
getting on X amount of time, like, hey, we ran this for a little bit of time. Let's do a Zoom meeting and get through that and discuss this, that, and the other thing. We were talking about adding some videos, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's going to be part of our process. Um, I follow orders pretty well, so if we put some structure together, and I'll do it.
Amazing. That sounds good then. So I think we can wrap this up then. So what I'll do is after this call, I will ask my team to send you the Stripe link and the contract, a basic draft of the contract, hopefully by the end of the day. I have like 4 other meetings after this as well. So I'll just inform them. And once you go through the contract and then send the Stripe and give me a confirmation or the setup fee, and then I'll schedule the onboarding call. Or maybe we can schedule
And
the
then
onboarding call right now as well.
um, yeah, let's just send over the contract the with the pricing breakdowns in there. Make sure there's some reference to that cost so that I have a clarity on exactly what for what. And then if you want to schedule the onboarding call, we can do it right now.
Yeah, what time, was best for you this week?
Well, let's do Friday
Friday.
because
Yeah, Friday. Friday, what
Thursday
time?
are my appointment. Hang on a second. Absolutely couple of hours.
Let me check my schedule.
Pulling up my calendar right now.
Yeah, Friday is pretty open so far for me. Apart from
Let's
that's
do Friday morning, and I'm good
Friday
with like
morning.
8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time if that's possible.
Uh we have another call at exactly 8 a.m. Pacific time. Only apart
That
from that,
take usually
everything is open.
It'll take, well, I mean, can we do 9? Is that an hour call or is it going to roll over?
Yeah, nine would be fine. It's gonna be
Okay.
maximum an hour.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll send you confirmation of just give me a minute. Yeah, I'll send you confirmation for the 9 a.m. Pacific time on Friday for the onboarding.
Please do.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Zoom, but it's gonna be at least like it's gonna take 1 hour or something. So I would request you to take some time off.
Fridays are, honestly, Friday's open because that's usually days I'm reaching out to clients. Hey, do you need anything? Are you shopping this weekend? That type of stuff. You know what I mean? So,
Okay. Okay, perfect then. All right, so we'll see you on Friday. We meet again on Friday, and my teammate is also going to be there. So Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific on the onboarding call, and I'll send the Stripe link and the contract after this call by the end of the day.
all
Sounds
right.
good.
And then pronounce your first name for me.
It's Subhra. That's Subra.
Subra. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Subra. I was thinking Subaru. You're going to be a Subaru for me.
You
Subra. Anyway,
can say whatever helps.
I was
Okay, so
going to
yeah,
give you.
yeah, I have to leave now because I have another meeting in like 4 minutes.
Subra, have a great day, man.
Appreciate the time, Aaron. Looking forward to making it absolutely blast for you.
Cheers.
Yep. Cheers, man.